All right, guys, what's going on? I'm Francis, aka Francis.
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Scott Bash.
And I'm Francis. And this,
all right, you didn't.
It's about synergy, you see. It's about synergy and celebrating the new year, the 2025 updated version of the push coming straight to your homes right from the fourth world. Unfortunately, our boy Cap could not be here tonight. He had a tie-up at his job, but we can't wait to see him again and have him be reclaiming his title of our hoster with the moster. But no fret, no fear. The three of us have enough topics and all the other fun stuff and all the cool discussions between us to carry on, in fact, a full episode, a regular 3MB, if such a thing ever existed. So, gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about, and I think it's only appropriate that, seeing as how we're starting our New Year, New Era, we talk about Big Dub's New Year, New Era with Raw now on Netflix.
Yes. Finally. We've all been waiting months and weeks and days
it was built
and
up, man.
Fortnights.
Might be 2 weeks behind. We might be 2 weeks behind.
Might be a little late, but you know what? We're here.
Better late than never. That's what I always say.
But, yeah, so Netflix finally debuted their version of Monday Night Raw that Triple H has now dubbed the Netflix era. Or
is it weird that I like that better than
Renaissance era? Or as Triple H says, the Netflix era. He did put a hefty fucking pause on Netflix. I don't know if he realizes it's one word.
It was he punctuated it for emphasis.
I think he just took a breath. But yes. So unfortunately, I feel the first episode of Raw on Netflix was not for wrestling fans, in my opinion.
There was only, like 3 matches?
Not even that. Well, yes. The Penta debut got pushed back a week. I think there was another match that got cut for time, but I can't remember which one it was. But moral of the story, the Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw was 100% for shareholders. And Netflix top brass to see that, just to see, like, because why else would you have The Undertaker just show up and not do anything than to get people talking?
To pop the crowd, yeah.
Exactly. So that was 100% for WWE to show the top brass of Netflix, be like, hey, look,
that they can sell out arenas and they can get a straw viewer base.
Yeah, and it's like, look at the ratings we got.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a bad show, but
no, it just felt like it was a lot of pop and circumstance for not a lot of wrestling.
Out of the 3 matches, I think I said there were, the only ones I remember were Rhea, Liv, Punk, Seth, and the third one, the Tribal Chief combat.
Yeah.
So,
and
before
Tiffany Stratton cashed in, didn't she?
I believe so. Was that on the Raw?
That was on the debut.
That was on SmackDown.
I was about to say, I think that was on SmackDown.
Is she not on SmackDown?
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that anyway still, too, so.
Mm-hmm.
But before we start, you mentioned ratings. Now, I don't have the ratings on here, but what I do have is the viewership for the first night on Netflix. And, I mean, I've discussed this before on Raw. And all of last year, Netflix's viewership was averaging around 1.5 to 2 mil. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, these are the viewerships on the first night on Netflix. In the United States, they had 2.6 million households that was watching Netflix, in which in which, and that's just United States. Period. If you want to do
it's
the
not.
whole global world, it was 4.9 million,
Mm-hmm.
and
Is
obviously
that
as the number one
is that total viewership, or is that like only
globally,
the live viewership? Like people who
I would
tuned
say
in live.
I would say the live viewership.
Okay.
Yeah, because the way
Because
I
I know
looked
you
it
could
up,
rewatch the.
yeah,
Okay.
it took a couple of days to try to get the viewership, but I finally found it.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
viewership versus TV ratings is I
It's
think
totally different.
it's weighed differently. I don't know exactly how it is, but I know it is.
yeah. So yeah, 2.6 million for people in the United States, but if you
Mm-hmm.
go on a global aspect, the total was 4.9. And as the person who loves to hate now AEW, I just want to say, and the reason why I always attack AEW, give or take that we're mainly a WWE talking show, even though we cover all of it, is because the reason why AEW was built, it was built solely to destroy WWE.
And it
Now
failed.
AEW, does have a, what is it on? It's not Peacock. I know
Max.
AEW is on Max now.
Max. Yeah, I know that AEW is on Max now, but
Objectively the worst streaming service.
yeah. But the thing is with this, the reason I'm going to attack AEW is because obviously they tried to make it a thing that, um, they wanted to take down WWE. They wanted to show them off. But here's the thing: AEW, you lost in the mass of that whole year of 2024. You lost a total of 300,000 viewers. WWE's a night one on Netflix, they gained 1.2 around that area. And now, I mean, obviously, that's just the first night. People are going to go and watch it just
Yeah, it's
because it
the
was the
debut.
first time on Netflix. But if it's a 4.9 million global viewership, AEW needs to start doing something right, because if this continues, they are going to lose a lot more than they already did, and which is shocking to say, because 300,000 is a lot for, it's just a lot, period.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, though, because you had to imagine that WWE was going to get like a decent spike in ratings, A, because it's the debut, but B, you also had a lot of people like me who don't watch Raw every week because it's on cable. I don't have cable. I don't feel like paying for it for the 3 channels that I'm going to watch. So that being said, I do have Netflix, so I can now watch WWE Raw live. And I know there's a lot of people out there like me who don't want to pay for cable because it's fucking expensive for no reason whatsoever. Like, just to paint a picture, I believe the standard cable package for where I'm at, through Verizon Fios, is, I want to say it was like almost $100 a month.
Yikers.
For what? For fucking what? For what?
Yeah,
but
no.
like, the only thing I watch on TV, and that's if I even have the opportunity and the time to watch it with my work schedule, is wrestling, football, and hockey, and that's it.
Big 3.
So what the fuck else? Like, I'm not watching any other TV. I hate watching the news. Fuck that. TV shows, meh. Anything that's on TV now, I could watch on Hulu if I really wanted to watch it. And even then, I rewatch the same shit over and over again anyway. So I was like,
I'm not going to do a
point?
nice plug bit because we're not sponsored by any of those guys.
No,
we're just
fuck
making
that.
a point.
But so that being said, I don't see a point in spending $100 a month to watch like 3 channels. And now also, that we have Raw on Netflix,
yeah,
and give or take the fact that some weeks I might not be able to. Like tonight, I can't watch Raw because the second we get out of here, I have to go to bed because I have to be up at 3:30 in the fucking morning to go to work.
Not your fault. No one's fault.
No, I know, but you get my point. Like, I wouldn't be able to stay up until 11 o'clock to watch Raw. Unless I wanted to fucking hate myself tomorrow, which I really don't. I value my sleep.
And it's also the fact that cable likes to raise the prices while they promise that you averaged a certain amount.
This is why I got rid of cable like years ago.
So do all the streaming services, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
This isn't a fucking $100 debate.
Yeah.
Next year it'll be $120.
And then it'll keep going up until you're like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, you know what? Out of curiosity, let me look up.
There's also, Scotty, another reason you're going off on them is because their past event this weekend, it was Maximum Carnage, right?
I'm not sure. I don't pay attention to AEW.
Well, like, I know they did a thing for that. It's like, is that another reason they're attacking them because they ripped off a fucking Spider-Man storyline? Because Maximum Carnage is the name of a Spider-Man storyline. And I'm like, you better pray to God Disney and Marvel doesn't find out about that.
But I mean, it's also the fact that, like, your number one guy is MJF. I've been hearing that he's been very, like...
unhappy?
No, not unhappy. He's like, they're severely underutilizing him. He doesn't have the same pop that he did a few months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? So, Fios has multiple packages, and the only reason I'm doing Fios is because that's who I use for my internet provider, because they're like, one of the two options in my area, and the other one is Spectrum, and I'll be damned if I fucking sign up for Spectrum. I play video games. I need good internet. So Fios cable, TV start, local TV. So that's not including like USA Network and all the decent channels that I would need in the first place. This is just local channels. $55 a month. Your Fios TV, which I'm assuming is their basic package, that's more than just the local. So it's like, USA, Nickelodeon, things like that. $85 a month. Now, I don't even know what channels are included in these packages. More Fios TV, $109 a month. And the most Fios TV, so their biggest package, which would be like, all like whatever, every channel, sports, this and that, $129 a month.
Jesus fuck.
Bite me.
Yeah, no. Going to Netflix was the right call for that one, boys.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's avoidable, and it's like free recordings. I used to record, back when I lived at home, I used to record Raw on my parents' TV all the time.
Oh, yeah, when DVR was great. Like, when I lived at home with my parents, I did the same thing. I would always DVR Raw and SmackDown, and I would watch it the next day when I had time.
Yeah, but it's an entirely different new landscape. And then WWE knows that now.
And then you also have to remember, for a while, up until recently, we had Raw and SmackDown the next day on Hulu, but they got rid of that now too.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm sure.
For obvious reasons, but
Yeah, that's just how it was.
I think. Yeah. Can we still get SmackDown live the next day?
From what I've seen so far on my Hulu, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so they took it both away. Okay, I knew they were taking Raw away because of Netflix, but I didn't know if they were doing SmackDown too.
Yeah. And as for where the rest of the AEW audience went, as to where Scott is, well, I think we can get into that later. It's a surprise for later, haha. But for the meet in going back to Raw on Netflix, yeah, that's right.
I was reacting to your
fucking voice.
Your unsuccessful Mickey, and then you finally hit puberty halfway into going back.
Oh boy!
Speaking of living in fear on Disney, Deadman wasn't the only surprise we had on the Raw premiere on Netflix. We also got to see an appearance from good old Grandpa Terry. The Hulkster's back, brother. And no one had time for that, let me tell you. Man, oh man. The Dungeon of Doom has retroactively won. Hulkamania is dead forever.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I wouldn't say it was dead because people did pop. People did pop for the Hulkster. You know, fucking. There was some cheers in the sea of booze. You know, because you know how it is. People mark out for the legends and stuff, but like, and then you realize like, wow, this guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. But let me take this. Let me start this because the two people that were really going to attack Hulk Hogan, it was me and Kat. Kat's not here.
Unfortunately, Kat couldn't be here, so there's enough fucking rage boner for you to take it over.
Kat did send a video.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on here to play it for you.
Sorry, Kat.
Yeah, so but here's what it is. So Cap goes on and says the obvious things about what everybody else was saying. They're saying because of racism, he denied the thing on him, his political stance. I'm about to tackle all of it. And the first thing first, it wasn't political. I understand it's in California, which is relatively a blue state, but there's two things of a reason why I think it's nothing political. One, mainly, is The Undertaker. Obviously, a person who's retired, who's really been showing who he really is, which was awesome to hear, because we're able to hear stories that he's never really told. But obviously, The Undertaker's a Republican.
I was going to say, he's extremely Republican.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if Kane made an appearance, he's also a Republican, he would have got cheered. So it's not, for the people who are baiting that it was because he's a Republican, the election's over, get over it. The second thing is what people, and this is a little bit of a reason, but I don't believe it's the main reason, is the racist but the racist comments that he made and the failure to properly apologize. The reason I don't think that is because the racist tweets that he said, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
he did make appearance,
and he got cheered.
Yeah, he has made appearances before Raw and after his racist comment.
Yes, but
I mean, it could be a little
bit. Those comments, I think, came out over a decade ago at this point.
Yeah,
close. So it was about 2016.
Give her okay. This was 9 years. It's close enough. Goddamn.
Yeah, and this is the major reason. And obviously, the people who know wrestling or the people who love politics will know about this because this video was probably shared on both. Jesse Ventura, he explained it perfectly. And I understand that there were people like the Iron Sheik and other wrestlers that probably tried to express themselves into disliking Hulk Hogan, and we always ignored it.
Bro,
and so we saw...
Dislike?
Hated.
The Iron Sheik was the biggest Hulk Hogan hater
Iron Sheik made when he died,
made a fucking career.
Iron posted every tweet he ever had of him telling Hogan to go fuck himself.
So tell him to go fuck himself. And how many times he called him a jabroni?
So
if hating Hulk Hogan is an art form,
the Sheik is the master.
So let me explain what it really was. Like I said, the real reason why Hulk Hogan got booed is because of the story that Jesse Ventura said. And if you haven't listened to the video, I suggest you watch it, but I'll let you know now. It's basically Jesse Ventura wanted a union for wrestlers during his time.
Yeah, I remember the story.
And
Hulk Hogan was one of the biggest people to shoot it down.
Vince flat out said, it was Hogan that told me about it. And then long story short, winded up not happening, which Jesse Ventura would comment saying it made sense. He's the highest paying wrestler. Why would you want a union?
Why would you want a union?
Here's also the thing that I was thinking. Growing up, there was a decent amount of 60-plus-year-old wrestlers that were showing up during Raw. And it makes me think, yes, it could have been the fact that they still loved wrestling and they wanted to make appearances, but it could also be how many wrestlers were struggling for payments, were struggling for money because they didn't have a future because of what Hulk Hogan did.
So here's my thing. That's very much like a big behind the scenes politics thing, and that's I can understand why he would get some heat from that. I don't think that's why he got the boos that he got in California. I think a big part of it, I think it's a mix of both, because it's a lot of people.
Everything.
I was gonna say, I think it's a lot to do with everything. So I can't blame one specific thing. Like, do I think he got booed because of his political affiliations? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. My second thing is also the reason why I don't think he got booed because of his political stance. I also trust the fans of wrestling to not boo him over something petty like that.
Okay. So
sorry, I forgot to mention that.
No, here's my thing. My main thing is that I think that he did get booed because again, it is California. It's a very blue state. Here's my main reason why I think he would get booed. Some, not all the boos were from that, but I think some. Like, the reason why he would get booed as opposed to Undertaker, who's also very Republican. The Undertaker didn't go campaign with the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was out at rallies, like, cutting promos. So, like, he straight up cut a promo at a Trump rally. It was actually really funny.
Was it red and yellow Hogan or black and white Hogan?
Red and yellow. Because he even did the shirt. Like, he ripped the shirt off. Which
he does that no matter what.
No, I know, but it's just...
Of course it's the red and... Of course it's the red and yellow. It's
we're not
real American.
We're not getting into a political debate here.
No.
I think that had something to do with it. I think his past comments had something to do with it. Because again, you go back a couple years to WrestleMania when he came out, and I forgot which WrestleMania it was. It was like 2018, 2019, something like that. They were I forgot where they were, but it wasn't the Silverdome, and he called it the Silverdome, and everyone fucking shit on his life for that.
I think that was 2018, yeah.
That was 2018, right? Okay.
I was 34.
Yeah. Because he came out, flexed with Alexa Bliss, but you could hear there was some boos happening there too. So, it's the Hulkster's a piece of shit. Let's just be real. He's not a good person.
No.
So naturally he's going to get in some heat. So I don't think we can hone in on one specific thing as to why he would get booed, because there's so much.
Yeah. It could be like about the time he lied about being offered to play bass for Metallica.
Yeah.
It could be about It could be about the There's a whole
there's a lot.
Reason for
there's
people
a lot.
To boo Hulk Hogan.
Moral of the story.
A lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a mix of things. I can't necessarily blame one thing. Like, you can't say, oh, it's the politics. No, it's the racism. No, it's the
Jesse Ventura story,
the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, like I feel like it all plays a part. In
the majority for me, the majority for me is the fact that he just didn't care about anybody but himself.
No, because everyone knows he's a money hungry piece of shit.
Yeah.
I kind of, and now you guys might get mad if I mention this, because I always felt like he was the same way, was Bret Hart. I constantly heard him not wanting, I constantly heard him not wanting to give up the title because he's always believed that he should have it, but it's about giving. I understand you have your moments. You will have your moments to shine, but this is for all wrestlers and not just Hogan and Bret Hart. But when you need to give up the title for somebody else, you give up the title. And if that fails, when you gave up the title to that person and they fail with that title, guess what? You're a big candidate to get it back and to promote it more.
Here's my thing. I agree with you here. I have heard that a lot in the past that Bret wouldn't do the job for a lot of guys, especially if he didn't like them.
especially if their name rhymed with prawn Tychels.
Yeah, which is obviously why the screw job happened. Yeah, I was gonna say we all know that's a big part of why. Like Vince has said it. They've all said it. The whole reason the screw job happened in the first place was because he didn't want to do the job for Michaels.
Yeah,
and in Canada, that was he didn't know, but he even said he straight up said he goes, I didn't want to. It's not that I didn't want to drop the belt. I just didn't want to drop the belt to Shawn, and that's the only person they were pitching.
That was the only person who could keep up. Aside from Deadman, and he was busy with Kane.
Well, that was the thing. I remember, I think they said, I remember Brett had come out and said, I think it was on Dark Side of the Ring or one of those type of documentaries that they made about the screw job, because they've all done it at this point. Yeah. I mean, fuck, WWE even put one out on their own.
WWE made like 5.
Yeah. And the Vince doc on Netflix talked about it too. I want to say, I think he's like, oh, I'll drop the belt to Austin, and then he could drop the belt to Michaels like on Raw the next day or some shit like that. And Vince was adamant. He goes, no, it has to be Shawn. And it has to be in
because
Canada.
Austin was out because of his neck.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Austin, but either way, it was he offered it to anybody else. He was like, I'll drop it to so and so, and then they can, you know.
I remember that on the Vince doc. I think he was gonna, like I said earlier, I think he was gonna drop it to Deadman, but like Deadman too busy.
He was feuding with Kane, and it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but apparently a lot of guys back then in like the 80s and 90s had a bad rep of the politics were really bad back then. The backstage politics, because you know everyone had some kind of influence, and Vince would actually listen. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Moral of the story: Grandpa Terry is not too popular.
Yeah, I miss the other Grandpa Terry.
And before we go off to the next subject, I just want to make sure, because nobody really said this, and I know he probably doesn't think it. Jimmy Hart, we love you. I just want you to know this was only
Jimmy Hart. This
was only for Hogan.
Yeah.
We love the fact that you were back there waving the American flag. I loved it.
I honestly
Hogan that we hated.
I honestly believe a big part of why there were some cheers was because Jimmy Hart was there.
Yeah. You can never boot Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart signed my dad's birthday card one year.
That's funny.
Yeah, Yeah.
But
going from one segment that got drowned in booze, let's go to a separate episode on Raw Netflix that got drowned in cheers. The debut of Penta, everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat character turned wrestler, is finally here in Big Dub, and like Michael Cole himself said, it is the worst kept secret in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Like
everybody knew. The second he didn't sign back with AEW, I was like, he's going to WWE. They're going to feud him with Rey Mysterio because he's Mexican, and that's all we're going to see of him. And then he'll wind up in LWO for like the next
Triple H.
foreseeable future. Please don't do that.
Please. I'm not gonna swear to the Almighty, but I swear, if they keep Rey Mysterio fucking 50 yards away from Penta all times, I do not want to see another Mexican or Spanish wrestler team up with Rey Mysterio. I am sick and tired of it.
Okay, so here's my thing. I don't think he should be kept far away from Rey Mysterio. I just don't think he needs to be in a fucking program with him.
You want to know
if they want to do like, but no. See, here's my thing, because I've seen video and I've seen like the matches of that he's had in
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground, thank you.
Which I cannot believe they name dropped on Raw. BT Dub.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, NewEra Underground. But Rey Mysterio and Penta had some fucking sick matches in Lucha Underground. If they want to put the two of them together just for like a number one contenders match or some shit like that, I'm all for it. I just I don't need him in a fucking perpetual feud with
Santos Escobar,
with LWO or Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah.
Like
someone on Twitter,
leave
him by himself.
Just because they're the same, this is something I wanted to say for a long time. Just because they're the same race does not mean they all need to be in a tag team together. It does not mean that at all.
According to
racially,
according to WWE, you are very wrong. They look the same.
Every time we get a collection of the same race, they always get hit on a tag team.
Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
I almost never see a mixed race tag team. Almost never. It's always the same races climbing up together.
Fucking Bubba Ray and D-Ron. The Dudley Boys.
That was a while ago.
I'm talking about, well, let me be more specific. This age.
Yeah.
Awesome Truth.
They're breaking up, dude.
That doesn't matter. But were they not recently tag team champions?
Yes, but they were a tag team long before that. Recent.
And?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. The Hurt Business.
Yeah.
We had freaking 8 to 10 Spanish wrestlers, and somehow they all got grouped up into 2 tag teams. Like, just chill out for a sec.
But
the Bloodline.
Well, the Bloodline makes sense. That's the whole point of the Bloodline.
Yeah, I know.
And even then, wait, no, the Bloodline's mixed. Sami Zayn.
He's got us there. The honorary Oos, yeah, no, point withdrawn.
God, Sami Zayn, I can't.
But speaking of the Bloodline, actually, someone on Twitter actually pitched this for me, a feud for Penta. I don't know how they do this, but have Penta in a feud against Jacob Fatu and have them just fucking eviscerate each other.
Yes, absolutely. I'm in. I'm fucking in.
Yeah, that is what you should do with Penta.
But I think with Penta being here, his early stages with WWE should be, throw him in a couple dream matches. I mean, like, Rey Mysterio. That's what I'm saying. And Rey Mysterio can go. Have them have one match and then move on.
Yeah.
That's it. Just one. Just one.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a whole thing of fucking Penta versus the LWO. No. I'm saying, King of the Ring, number 1 contender match, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't care. Yeah. Get them in one-on-one, and then they move on.
Well, it's a good thing that they're both from separate brands right now, so we don't have to see that.
But you get my point. Like, if they want to do, like, King of the Ring, or, if they want to
I would love to see that match, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be great. They're going to interact at the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know how we can already tell WWE is doing a better job with Penta than AEW?
Because they let him show up.
Well, yeah, but also on his merch page on WWE Shop, they're selling his masks.
Yes.
AEW never made Penta masks.
See, but that's the thing. AEW focuses a lot on just T-shirts.
Yeah.
That's their biggest merch item. If you really look at it, it's hoodies and T-shirts. That's their big thing.
And maybe a beach towel.
Yeah, something like stupid things like that.
Maybe.
Or like the flag. Like when CM Punk showed up, they made his flag. And, little things. Like they do like little knickknacks.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy. Like they did the replica belts for a little while, but it was a very limited run, and it was a fucking $600. Yeah. Granted, the WWE ones aren't much better because, but they do cheap little fucking knick-knack things. They don't do like the masks and stuff. But I also feel like AEW didn't do that because they didn't want to make it like, oh, this is our Rey Mysterio,
Yeah. It doesn't have to be Rey Mysterio.
No, but people would call it that. They'd be like, oh, they want Penta to be their Rey Mysterio, so they're going to sell his match.
I'm arguing with the AEW, like, that's a stupid thing for them to do, because you could still, like Rey Mysterio, you could still make a mint in selling the masks alone.
I know, but the whole thing was they didn't want to be WWE, so why draw another comparison? Yeah. So, it makes sense and it doesn't make sense.
Well, one thing does make sense for sure, that's I'm getting a fucking Penta mask. That's for goddamn sure. What do you guys think of him killing Cherd Gable?
Oh my god, that match was fucking killer.
Right?
That match was amazing. I was really hoping going into it that he wasn't dominant, that it would actually be a good match, and it's exactly what I got.
Yeah, they didn't make him seem like overpowered for no reason.
The only critique I would, which is I love, because I feel like lately all the new returns have
the
been
debuts come in, they kick ass,
tease.
and they don't do anything.
Here's my only critique, and it's not a big critique because I understand this is his first appearance.
Yeah.
But and he was really excited.
Yeah.
The promos severely needs work.
I agree with you 100%. He's normally really good at that. It's just like that's the WWE part coming in, but hopefully
he's got to get used to the WWE style of promo, because AEW was very fast and loose with their promos. They let them just go out there and say whatever the fuck they want. WWE is heavily scripted, so they probably gave him a very basic script that he could remember.
Yeah, because English is not his first language.
Also,
that
too.
It's also I also think most of it is because
I think you're just upset that there's no subtitles.
No, it's his dream job. I don't care that he spoke Spanish and that I didn't understand it. It's perfectly fine.
There's plenty of people on TikTok that were explaining it. Yeah. I think I saw Santa's app doing that.
He had his dream job, which is, I understand his dream job as a wrestler, but it was more personally being in WWE.
Getting to the WWE. Yeah. Because you know what, and it makes sense because for the longest time, and I think still, that the WWE is considered like the major leagues. Yeah,
and
NXT.
They can skip that because of their comeback.
NXT, TNA. They're not obviously not as big as Raw and SmackDown and the main roster of WWE, because obviously, NXT is still WWE, but you're not like there yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. It's like everyone makes it a big deal when you get called up to the main roster, and I'm like, it's basically like, and then you have AEW, right? Like AEW is also a fucking phenomenal company to be signed by if you're a good talent, or at least it was like a couple of years ago, because it was. But even on the indies, it very much gained a reputation of, the people that can't make it in WWE, they get signed by AEW. And it's like, you look at, like, that's a very cynical way of looking at things. To me, it was very much one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, it's more opportunity to be signed. Not, it's just WWE's
light.
Not even that, like, they're rejects, Yeah. Because there's a lot of very talented people in AEW, and I wish they would showcase them more.
And when they're booked better.
And I wish they were booked better, but you know what? That went out the window when Cody Rhodes went back to WWE.
Yeah. And Kenny's trying everything he can to get out of there.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
AEW years like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Fucking mint.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know what? They may not have beat WWE, but they felt very
legit,
WWE adjacent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now it's like, if I had to put it in an analogy that was very simple, TNA, NXT, and the indies and stuff like that, that's like all your minor league teams. That's like your Brooklyn Cyclones and the
Staten Island Yankees.
Well, they're not even the Yankees anymore, and they're not even a major league affiliate anymore. But teams like that, where it's like you had, you go there to develop. You look at the New Jersey Devils, for example. You get drafted by the Devils, you go down, you play in Utica for a little while, then you come back up to be in the pros. So to me, that's like, the indies is your. I always forget it. Which one's the best one before you get to the pros? Is that AAA or single A in baseball?
AAA.
It's AAA is the best, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you look at that, right? You got the indies. That's like the single A division. That's like, you just got drafted and like maybe you weren't doing too hot, and then you're down there, and then you got. Now you have like some of these other schools that are getting more attention with the WWE ID thing. Okay, that's your double A, right? Because those are big, more reputable schools. They're not just, this indie promotion that's in, like a fucking church cafeteria,
or basement,
or like a basement. You know, it's not like a random indie promotion you find in every town you go to. It's not like backyarding. Backyarding's even worse. That's like you didn't even get drafted. Like you don't make it to the minors. You're just fucking playing in a field somewhere because you can. Right. So you have that, and then you have NXT and TNA. That's like your AAA, right? You're this close. You're right there. You're almost there. You just need to fine tune some little things. And then you have WWE. That's the major leagues, right? And now to me, AEW was like, it's a different major league. Like it's like if you had the MLB and the MLB2.
Yeah.
Right? Like
no, the AEW
it's like a different division.
You know they shouldn't be there, but they're there.
No, but that's my point. And then it's like, so you look at that, and then so like perfect example. You know, almost every sport has like that semi-pro league. Right. Mm-hmm. But like the biggest one that everyone knows is football. You know, NFL, you have, you know, it's the NFL. That's your fucking powerhouse that everyone knows, and household names. You know, even the people that don't watch football, you say, "Oh, what's your local team?" They're like, "Oh, the Giants, the Jets, the Rams, Steelers, you know, whoever." They know their teams because they're there and they're in the fucking news. They're everywhere, up your ass, right? And then there's the XFL, and that's AEW.
Or the Canadian Football League.
No,
I mean, they're doing better than the XFL. So.
Unfortunately, they have whole different rules. I mean, so whatever. But you get my point.
Even though it's not called the XFL anymore, but yeah,
you get my point. But that's like you have the NFL, and it's like all the pros, and like, oh my god, everyone knows them. And that's what everyone wants to be. That's where you want to get to. That's the end goal, because there's nowhere to go from there. You know, once you get there, that's it. You can't go up anymore. You're at the top. And then you got there's XFL. Like you could cut it in the NFL so that you got signed by the XFL, and you're doing things. That's basically
a 2-week training camp.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's effectively what AEW's become. It's people who couldn't cut it in WWE or used to be in WWE, but now they're petty, so they go there because they're salty about the way Vince was running the company, or they're just like, WWE didn't want to re-sign you because you have nothing left to offer. So you go to another company, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that because, you know, you got more opportunity. You found it. Great. WWE already made it rich. Why not?
So I
go
think,
have fun. And, you know, Tony Khan pays out the ass for former WWE guys.
Yeah.
He's got his dad's money. He doesn't give a fuck what he does with it.
It's just going to get worse, too, because Penta, we just started, and Penta was the first thing that came when he left.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get worse.
Penta
I mean, we might not get the former WWE wrestlers back, but there's a better chance that we get the AEW bred wrestlers to WWE.
Exactly. You're going to get
the other guys, which we'll get to later.
But that's the whole thing. It's like you look at that, and people who are leaving AEW, you're not going to get like the former WWE guys. You're not going to get like the Adam Cole or, you know, Jericho, Aleister Black. You know, I mean, well, Aleister Black is still young.
Aleister Black, maybe.
His wife is there. You know, Zelina Vega is still on WWE. So, like, I think he would consider coming back, especially now with Triple H in charge. You know, that was his boy. Yeah. Because if Aleister Black comes back to WWE and Triple H books him the way he booked him in NXT Black and Gold,
he'll be set for life.
Let's go. He'll be world champion in no time.
I was hooked to Malachi Black, and then just nothing happened, and it was very disappointing.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. You know, you're not going to get those, but like, the weird thing is, as much as I would want MJF in WWE, I don't want MJF in WWE.
Yeah.
Because
you don't
the MJF we enjoy has no rules. He's allowed to go to the ring and just say whatever the fuck he wants. No matter what it is. He can call the fucking boss a mark. On live television. Call him a fucking mark. On live television and not get in trouble.
Only MJF can do that.
He will not be able to do that.
Of AEW.
I guarantee you he will not be able. If he came to WWE, now that Raw is on Netflix, he would have to be on Raw. There's no other place for him. He has to be on Raw because there's no censorship. They don't care anymore. So they're going to say some crazy shit. But it's still going to be scripted. And I don't think MJF will do well on a WWE script. I think he will get to say some shit, especially now that Raw is on Netflix. He could say, he could drop F-bombs if he wanted to. WWE is going to use that very sparingly, but they're going to. They're going to use it.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah, they're not going to let you drop an F-bomb in every fucking promo. But, you might get something crazy. When they had that segment with, oh my God, Seth Rollins and,
was it Punk?
No. Fucking, God damn it. Who? It was a while ago.
Yeah, I can't think of it. What you're?
It wasn't Cody.
What area?
It was Matt Riddle.
Oh yeah.
It was Matt Riddle.
Oh yeah.
When they were doing that promo over the Zoom call, and he was like, oh, you talk about my family, let's talk about your family. Oh, that's right, they don't want your bitch ass no more.
Bitch ass anymore.
And Matt Riddle dropped an F-bomb, but they censored it, obviously. So it's like they've done it before. I'm sure they'll do it again, but they're gonna save it for something like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna save it for a feud that's gone way too far and got way too real, and they're just gonna let them go. And they're gonna be like, go, you get one.
And you have to do it. Well, I just can't wait until they do that. Go full on classroom scene, the South Park movie on each other. Just really get the blood flowing. But to close out on the Penta topic, another sign that he's doing better here in WWE is first match in the company, and he's already got Cieto Mieto over with that entire crowd.
Yeah, everyone already knew it. That was
they
were doing it before he even got to the fucking entry ramp.
Yeah. So
there were signs and everything.
Yeah, great things for Penta. I was surprised that his finisher isn't the Fear Factor, but then I immediately wasn't surprised, and I remembered, wait, that's a package pile driver, and I don't think that's gonna. Yeah, that's. Maybe he can bust it out at the end of a really serious feud, but for now, the sacrifice is. Yeah, maybe.
I actually have something. This was I have a good topic. We'll continue. We can continue on Raw and Netflix in a bit. Because this does have something to do with. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just about to end the Penta stuff. We're all in unanimous decision that we're glad he's here.
Yeah.
So, Scott, if you want to take the reins on this one, go ahead.
Yeah, I got. We'll go back to Raw and Netflix. So we're definitely not done talking about that because we got 3 amazing matches we got to talk about. But here's something. So, randomly, obviously, we know that Pat McAfee he has his own show. Obviously, he has it after First Take on ESPN, and I was on TikTok.
Yeah,
and I was on TikTok, and since it was the day of Raw on Netflix, he had a couple of conversations with Triple H and Michael Cole, and the topic that they had with Michael Cole really intrigued me because I'm about to share what Michael Cole said, and it's going to be really shocking. So obviously, as we know, Michael Cole has been in the business for 28 years in this coming June. And he announced something that is concerning and shocking at the same time. Is that he said that, they expressed his accomplishment of he's only missed 3 days of shows, give or take his 28-year career, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But he also said in the near future he could be missing more time. So I think we might be seeing a little less of Michael Cole as the year goes.
Not necessarily his Twilight years, but something similar.
But he's had a very long career.
Yeah.
And he puts in a lot of work. Every week he's you ask any wrestler that's been in WWE and worked with Michael Cole on whatever show he was calling at the time, whether it was Raw or SmackDown. The man does not stop. Like,
no.
He'll be, the second he gets to the arena, he goes and he sits at the commentary table and he studies his notes.
The only time he stopped was when Jerry the King had his heart attack on air.
But that's different. But like that's not the point that I'm trying to make. Like, he gets to the arena. Now, mind you, if Monday Night Raw starts at 8:00, he's at the arena at like noon, 1:00, and he's sitting there gathering notes. What matches are on, who's in those matches, notes about that person or those people, all the information he needs, finishing move names. Like, you look at the commentary table on Raw, he has notes everywhere. He has constantly reading something that he wrote down or a note that he has. The man works like crazy, so he deserves to take time off. If he needs time off, let him go for it. Fucking
absolutely, 100%. If anyone deserves a break from this, it's Michael Cole.
100%.
So, it's gonna suck not having him all the time, because if he's gonna be like, oh, he's gone this week because he's on vacation or
wants to
just taking time with the family or whatever. That's his business. Let him, fucking, who cares?
Yeah.
It's gonna suck without him. It's gonna be weird because now we have obviously we now have Pat McAfee back. Yeah. So I don't foresee him really missing any time until College Game Day starts up again, and then Pat McAfee goes away. Because he loves working with Pat. He's expressed it so many times that it's like Pat McAfee is his favorite person to work with in WWE. Made him love his job again. And you can tell he has so much genuine fun when he's working with Pat. Like, you can hear it in his voice. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it'll be a long things. Like, it'll probably be like a week here, a week there. Nothing too crazy. The man's a workaholic. Like, he's not. Yeah. Like, he's gonna take time. I think that's literally just him saying, like, hey, just a heads up. There's gonna be a couple weeks this year that you don't see me.
Worried.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Even then, I doubt it's not like we're never gonna see him again.
No, he's just exactly. He's. I don't foresee Michael Cole retiring anytime soon.
Yeah. He's 90.
You're just trying to get us sued by Disney this week, huh?
I have a Disney death wish. I don't know what to tell you, fellas. I'm not the one who ripped off a Spider-Man story and named an event after it. On you, Tony Khan.
I mean, to be honest, they almost lost $1 billion all of 2024 with the consistent bad movies that they've shown. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna need the money.
No, they ain't getting it from here. We broke.
Should we pivot back to Raw on Netflix?
Sure.
Yep.
So, 3 matches. We had Tribal Combat between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. We have seen that the crown has returned, or the lay in this case, to its rightful place in Roman Reigns.
The Ula Fala, you fucking jackass.
The Ula Fala. I apologize to all of our Samoan viewers at home. And Roman Reigns has reclaimed his title as the head of the table. Yeah, Scott and I are looking at each other like, we doubt this is the end of this.
No. You know it's not.
No. Is this the one you
I
wanted
said-
to? Scott, is this the feud you said we should bring back Never Ending Story for, or is that a
Yes.
different one? Yeah.
No, that was
that's Judgment Day. That's Judgment Day. Forgive me.
that Priest and Finn Balor in Judgment Day, because
Oh.
even though they had a story that makes it seem like Priest finished the story, no, it's not. It's
That's
definitely
Never
not.
Ending Story. Yeah.
But yeah, the storyline's not done.
Yeah.
They lied to us when they said finish the story, when Michael Cole screamed finish the story and Cody won, because it never ended. I understand long-term storytelling, and I like that a lot better than the random BS that Vince showed in his final years of owning the business. But it comes to a point where it's too long of a story. I'm tired of seeing the same two people feud with each other. I really am. I understand. Yes, you can bring. Oh, maybe a few months later, the feud reignites, but don't keep making it a consistent thing.
Because that's the thing. It's like you have Roman and Solo. You have the two bloodlines. They're taking up like all the TV time. Yeah. Same thing with the Judgment Day and the Terror Twins. It's the same thing. They're taking up all the fucking TV time. And I get it. Those are your biggest stars, and you want to showcase them.
Yeah.
Have them fight other people. They don't need to keep fighting each other. You could have the Bloodline feuding with the New Day for all I care. It's anybody.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking New Day Usos fucking tag team fight again. That's great. I'll fucking take that any day of the week.
If you want to splice in the Rhea thing, segue that to the next match, it's the same thing with the Rhea Liv feud. I feel like we're not done with that yet. Not helped by the fact that Liv Morgan talks the exact same way in every promo that she does. Revenge Tour, Dirty Dom.
Well, yeah, she's like people I know are gonna hate this. But
he's not even
she's
wrong.
The new age.
That's the. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate that you're right.
She talks the exact same way in every promo.
No, you're right. That's what I've been saying that for years. She sucks at promos. She's not good. Everyone seems to think she is. I'm like, no, because fucking the writers are giving her good buzzwords. That's why you think she's good. It's not because she's cutting a good promo. Then none of them have any kind of emotion other than meh, 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 meh.
Revenge Tour, Dirty Dom.
Yeah, and then her stupid fucking horrible laugh. Fucking sound like Fran Drescher ass bitch.
Well, she is from Jersey, so that could explain a lot.
That explains virtually everything.
We're not saying really. Sorry, New Jersey fans. You suck. Okay.
There's plenty of good actors that came out of Jersey, just not Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Not Liv Morgan. Yeah, I mean,
Danny DeVito's from Jersey.
We do like Danny DeVito.
Joe Pesci's from Jersey.
Danny DeVito's awesome.
We do like Joe Pesci and Danny DeVito. How come they never did a movie together? That's beside the point.
But that would actually be funny. I would pay to see that.
I would love that.
I think they got to. I feel like ever since Liv Morgan went into the business, there's just been one path for her career, and it's just if you try to push her into a little outwards, it won't go anywhere. You have to do little turns that try to make her seem different, but the little turns don't make a difference when the road is too big.
Can I be honest with you fellas? When she first showed up in the main roster, I wrote her off as a Dollar Tree Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry if that's too mean, but
no, when I see it because when she was with Riot Squad, that was basically her entire personality.
Yeah, was
I am discount Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry, but that's just the way it goes. The Seth.
But hey,
sorry.
But here's the good news. Even though we talked, but hopefully, the Terror Twins and the Judgment Day are done. And it seems like I'll say this prematurely. It seems like we officially are done with the Bloodline storyline, because now I think we're getting Jacob Fatu and Solo are going to be a thing.
Yeah, I think they're going to implode.
I think this is the time where Jacob Fatu and the Loa brothers. I think they're going to be one solid unit.
No, honestly, I could see.
I'm excited about that one.
I could see Solo going back to being a single star. I could see Jacob Fatu going into being a single star, and then
Girls of Destiny,
and then God does their own thing. They take over the tag division.
Yeah.
Like they just don't need to be a fucking stable. Like I know Triple H is a big fan of stables because he was in like 4 of them, but he doesn't. Not everyone needs to be in a stable.
Yeah. Again, have Jacob face off against Penta.
Yeah. Have Jacob
right
challenge. I would even have Jacob. You could give Jacob Fatu a fucking title match for against Cody.
Ooh.
I mean, not right away, but have him work for it. Like have him win like King of the Ring or something.
But the good thing is we will be getting on Saturday night main event. We will be getting Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
That's going to be interesting.
In which I kind of feel bad for Braun Strowman because I feel like he's more of a person. He's a big. I feel like they put him back in the same place that they didn't want to put him in. He's a big man that's just going to constantly lose every match he goes to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like he's kind of fallen into that role of he's the big guy, so if they beat him, it's a really big deal.
He's just the dragon that gets slain.
Exactly. Like he's unfortunately like following the curse that a lot of giants in recent history have had. They're becoming the next Big Show.
You hate to see it, but that's how it is.
It's true. It's just he's gonna feud with anybody and everybody. He's gonna flip flop whether he's a heel or a face, and he's not really gonna win a lot. Like if he wins, he'll be like a transitional champion
at best.
But hopefully, Obafemi gets bumped up soon.
Yeah,
and we get him.
I have a good feeling about Obafemi.
And then Obafemi will take out Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
and rise and be the next big monster until he just doesn't have it anymore. Unfortunately, guys their size, they deteriorate really fast because their bodies can't handle
keep up.
So it's like the knees go, the back goes. They have to slow down.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Then you'll get.
That's what happened to Big Show.
Yeah.
Great colleague.
Currently, Big Show. It's just really, really sad to see him still going, and like his legs are like twigs, where he walks and he just never bends
together by Scotch tape in a dream.
Yeah, his knees look all the way fucked up. Like,
he can't
waddles.
Even he can't even bump anymore.
No, he doesn't bump. He doesn't have to bump.
No, I mean there was Big Show got attacked, I think, recently on AEW, and it looked really bad.
But that's what I'm saying. The guy his size, and he's up there in age for a wrestler.
Yeah, you might have lost almost half your body weight, but it still doesn't.
You're still a big dude, my guy. Like, he's still like 300-something pounds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight for those knees to carry. But, I mean, Big Show's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. So we're not talking shit on the Big Show. It's just it sucks that we had to watch your career go the way it did so fast.
Time takes all of us down. That's just the sad truth about life.
Yeah.
Final match is Seth versus Punk.
Oh God, this match.
That was my match of the night.
I'll say this. I was going to say this when we talked about the last match, but the entire Raw on Netflix was perfect. Perfect. Everybody who should have won.
All the faces won, I believe.
Yeah. Again, Raw's debut on Netflix was not meant for wrestling fans. It was meant for shareholders. It was meant for big ticket executives and advertising.
Yeah.
Because you want advertisers.
There's no better advertising than have all the good guys win.
Yeah, exactly. You want products to, they want to see the crowd pop. They don't want to see their brand, especially now that they're branding the ring apron.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I hate it.
I
completely hate it.
I'm not
not at all.
But I get it. And unfortunately, that's
just
the way of life. I'm honestly shocked they didn't do it sooner.
I don't care about them changing the color of the mat, but no logos. We don't need to promote anybody. You have an entire ring, and you also have an entire barricade where you can stick things on there and promote it like baseball does.
Yeah.
See, that's my thing. I don't.
This isn't a defense. I'm just saying WCW used to do that all the time, and I know that's a bad example.
Yeah, but my thing is, I agree with Scott. It shouldn't be on the canvas. It should be on the apron. You know, they have the digital ring apron now anyway for the hard cam. What's the harm in fucking? They already do it. Like when they'll have this match is sponsored by Dude Wipes, you know, and they call. Oh, who did Pat McAfee call the fucking walking piece of shit?
Dom Mysterio.
Was it Dominic? Oh, it was Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, who else would he save that for?
That's true. But yeah, it was, you know, they had no problem throwing the Dude Wipe logo on the fucking ring apron and on the barricades. So I agree with Scott. Like, it should be there, not on the canvas of the mat. But I get it also because that's where it gets the most screen time.
Yeah.
My best guess is like maybe they're trying because again Endeavor and TKO they're trying to do what UFC does with all their ads.
and unfortunately that's what happens when the majority of the board of directors is UFC people, not WWE people.
Yeah, exactly.
So they get the final say.
Yeah.
And obviously UFC doesn't care about selling their canvas.
Yeah. I don't care about it one way or the other, but I understand why you guys have griped with it. I'm used to it probably from WCW.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seth versus Punk. That was my match of the night personally.
Oh my god,
it was so good. It's definitely not the last time these two are going to face off, though.
Definitely
not.
But this is a feud that I don't think any of us would mind seeing more and more of.
No, this one needs to be a drawn-out feud. Not like crazy, but...
Yeah.
The chemistry never faded. Never faded with them two together.
No, it did not.
Completely insane. I loved every minute of the match. It literally had me up on my seats because I did not know who was going to win that match.
Yeah.
That was the only one I didn't know who was going to win.
Honestly, that was the only match you could have thrown it in either direction, and I don't think it would have been
anyone would have minded. The table spot, them two hitting each other's finishers, which is always a great thing to see.
Seth getting extremely butthurt because he lost to Punk.
Seth getting very, very, very butthurt because he lost to Punk. All of it, chef's kiss. Cannot wait to get will face off at the Rumble.
And then, which we finally found out why Seth truly hates CM Punk is because he wasn't a good friend. Boo fucking who? We know damn well it's not because, it's because you left and then you came back. Because we've had shit ton of wrestlers who's left, who've done worse things than Punk and then came back. It was mainly because your friend never hit you. I never got a call back from my friend after he left the business. Oh, woe is me. Shut the fuck. Like, that is such a 5-year-old excuse of why you hate Punk.
No, but what makes me laugh, though, is every person that's left WWE, went to AEW, and come back, Seth is feuded with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for, like, Adam Cole to come back and be like, he's got to fight Seth Rollins.
Do you think Seth is going to turn heel?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, he is and he isn't. Like, he's a
tweener.
Right now, he's kind of a tweener. And that's the thing. Like, they tried the heel thing with him with the whole, the Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah.
And it worked for a little bit, but it got old fast. And it's for a guy like Seth Rollins, it's hard to stay a heel because people just cheer for you anyway.
Well,
it's the same issue like Bray Wyatt had. Everyone used to be so excited to see him, so they would cheer for him. You can't cheer for the bad guy, so they had to turn a babyface. There's so many wrestlers that do that. You can't turn it's hard. Over. You could turn them heel and they'll probably hate them for a little bit, but the second they even do anything remotely exciting for the crowd, they're gonna cheer.
It's the curse of charisma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you're over, you're over. There's no going back.
Absolutely
same reason
not.
Like Becky Lynch can't be a heel.
Becky was the biggest example I was about to say.
They tried to turn her heel, and she got even more popular.
It was due to A, Becky's natural riz, and B, the fact that everyone hated Charlotte that much.
And Ronda.
No, it was Charlotte too. It was both of them.
No, I know. It was Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. And that's what,
Yeah, no.
Becky going against them made her, what she is.
Exactly.
Becky 2 belts, the man, all that stuff. That was all because of that feud.
Ronda was just Ronda. There was literally total opposites between Charlotte and Ronda. It's because Charlotte was amazing, and we were so tired of seeing her with that title on a consistent basis. And
Ronda Rousey was just pure ass, and we wanted her to go away.
It was the lack of everything.
Mm-hmm. I saw her wrestle live.
Your promos were ass. Your character never developed. You were the female Brock Lesnar, except all you did was flip people over your back. That was it. At least
that
Brock
was
Lesnar
her
had another move.
That was her whole character. Female Brock Lesnar.
But it was.
I'm Ronda Rousey. Get over it.
No.
And then she's trying to make it seem like it was their fault. No, you suck.
Yeah. Blaming the fans. Get over it. Not everyone's gonna like you.
Saw her main event WrestleMania. The best part of her match was Joan Jett performing live. So we got Roman becoming the chief again. Punk Rollins. We talked about Rhea Liv during our dress down.
That was the most predictable outcome. Was that one?
Yeah. Literally at Ray Charles with the blindfold. Could have seen that one coming.
But yes, that pretty much sums up Raw on Netflix.
Raw on Netflix.
I'll extend a little bit on the Liv and what's it called?
There's not really much. There's not really much
scenario
to go up on. It's just it's an overdone feud, and it needed to end.
I can't wait for the new mini feud that we're gonna have, and that's Dom completely getting destroyed by Liv Morgan, and I feel like
he's gonna emasculate him.
This is where Dom becomes an outcast. This is where he's alone.
Yeah, this is where he's gonna catch the sympathy.
Yeah.
Because he showed his unloyalty to Liv when he tried to give Rhea a hug, and he got it was obvious. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was perfect because Dom's character seemed stupid enough to believe that Rhea would have crawled back to him, and just to get completely obliterated by his future children. But it's I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Liv does because it's just the mental game that she's gonna play on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy.
We're gonna find out that Liv's like boinking Finn Balor now.
Oh fuck! That's no, just no.
Liv's banging Finn Balor, and then Dom walks in on them.
Dom has a cuck chair.
I'm calling it now.
Nah, they're gonna have a cuck chair with Dom's name on it.
I'm calling it.
And this is for I wanted to say this. I just remembered it, and I don't know how it popped up in my head. Raquel Rodriguez. Fucking do something. Please do something. The first 2 times they brought you out, I understand them. I think it might have been injuries that held her back. But my God, don't just be an extra prop piece because you haven't done a single thing since you appeared to help Liv win the title in that Dom in the shark cage match.
Yeah, and she fucked that up anyway. Well, I don't know if it was her that fucked it up, but somebody fucked up.
I forgot it was a botch or something.
Anyway,
we talked about that in a previous episode.
Anyway.
Well, we're moving on from WWE after a very solid premiere with Netflix. The Netflix era is off to a big start. We're going to go from them to their new best buddies in the whole wide world, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. TNA had a big weekend this weekend, gentlemen. Between their Genesis pay-per-view that happened this past weekend, TNA also announced that they have signed a multi-year deal with the WWE.
Which we haven't done it yet, which you can find the story on our Instagram page.
Nice plug.
At the Push Wrestling.
Nice plug.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. That one's for you, Cap. But yeah, so we told this like a while ago when we saw how big a success the original NXT and A crossovers were.
Oh yeah, and I
Yeah.
think if I'm not mistaken, I believe Cora Jade already showed up.
Cora Jade showed up, and the NXT Tag Team Champions showed up at Genesis last night.
Yeah,
I'm
So-
trying to remember their fucking names.
but
Fraxium. Yeah,
yes.
Fraxium showed up last night.
So two things. One, now that they are fully partnered, because it didn't even say specifically with NXT, it said with WWE.
The entirety of the company.
Now, what are the odds that we get either Nick Nemeth, aka the Ziggly Wiggly, Dolph Ziggler, or the Hardy Boys back in the WWE?
So
especially with a certain pay-per-view coming up in the next 2 weeks.
So I will do you one better. And this is going to be the dumbest thing either of you have ever heard me say on this show, which, yeah, that's saying something. But so on his Instagram, John Cena he reposted the news of the signing between WWE and TNA. If he does not win the Rumble, and we'll save all for that for our Rumble predictions next week. If he does not win the Rumble, John Cena is going to show up in TNA and he's going to win the TNA world title, and that's how he breaks 17.
I don't know.
God,
See,
no.
that's the thing. I don't.
It wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't count. It wouldn't
See,
count because it's only WWE owned things. They don't own TNA. They just partner with TNA.
But that's how we're going to make TNA look legit.
Because no. Because here's my problem. Here's my problem with that. Because that also means that John Cena, spoiler for the TNA pay-per-view, would then have to go to TNA and beat Joe Hendry.
Yeah, spoiler for that, by the way, which we'll get into in a minute, though.
Man, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Wow, you
Congrats,
guys
by the way. We'll get to that.
I will be extremely pissed if he goes to TNA and wins that fucking title.
Because here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. Here's the
wrong. And not see him win number 17, goddammit. Ever since Ric Flair said, yes, you're allowed to break it, I've been feeding for him to break it because we've been tortured for 15 years. The worst torture we've ever seen. More than Roman, we're seeing 15 years of John Cena with that title around his waist.
But here's my thing. It can't be TNA. It has to be a WWE title. Because not only is it because WWE doesn't own TNA, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
But this podcast believes in Joe Hendry.
You're goddamn right, and we will get
damn
to him
right.
We will get to him in a moment. You can bet your ass we will get to him in a moment. But there are other things about Genesis I want to bring up first.
No.
First of all,
sorry, but the more likely scenario of WWE people coming to TNA, I would love to see AJ Styles back in TNA.
That's where he got his
Oh no! Yeah, that would be something.
And all jokes aside, I would like to see Cena drop by for a match or two.
I wouldn't be shocked if he shows up. He might not have a match. He'll probably just cut a promo or something.
Yeah.
And do like a spot.
Yeah.
But then again, you never know. You could totally see Cena being like, "Yeah, I'll wrestle somebody."
Yeah. The Motor City Machine Guns, they could stop in for a quick match. That's where they got their start too.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so tell us about this pay-per-view, Francis.
We're not going to go match by match. We already said we had a lot.
No, just the highlights.
The highlights: Tessa Blanchard versus Jordan Grace that was our show opener. Tessa wins, and we have confirmation this is Jordan Grace's supposedly last match with TNA, which means she's probably going to be showing. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. She did a bunch of NXT matches last summer, so
that's
I
what I'm
be
saying.
If she made a straight match to the Rumble, to the main roster. I wouldn't mind
Whatever.
that. I wouldn't.
Is
Yeah.
is this the same one that's been to the last 2 Rumbles or something like that?
Yes. The
Yes.
super jacked one.
Yeah. No, she has to go to WWE. Screw NXT. They have a really good women's division. We need it more.
That is
Give or
true.
take. Now we have 4. Give or take. Now we have 4 titles.
Yeah, that's exactly why they can need to pad up that roster, the women's roster. Yeah. So what other matches are there?
The Hardy Boys going up against. Fuck, I can't remember. I want to say the Rascals. It was.
Okay.
They were bumping like crazy for the TNA tag belts, doing all the fun Hardy stuff we've come to expect. Yada, yada, yada. Then we get to our main event: Joe Hendry versus Nick Nemeth for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, with Nick's brother Ryan banned from ringside. This was TNA. Like, this is where TNA. You know how we said during our Netflix segment that WWE. It was abundantly clear that WWE knew that Netflix was watching this and they wanted to make a good impression on them. TNA knew that WWE was watching this pay-per-view and they wanted it to be they wanted to make a good impression on them. This thing was the most overbooked sports entertainment type of WWE match that TNA, I think, has ever produced. They had like run-ins from like Frankie Kazarian, and the one to help Joe Hendry win was, of all people, JBL.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Frankie Kazarian comes out and he's trying to help Ziggly Wiggly screw over Joe Hendry to get the win, and then John Bradshaw Layfield bursts out of the crowd dressed like he's an Unforgiven and just gives Frankie Kazarian one of the meanest clotheslines from hell he's done in a while, and helps Joe Hendry get the 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah. And Joe Hendry is now our new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And it was a feel-good moment if such a thing ever existed.
Yeah. I mean, listen, big shout out. Yeah, big shout out for Joe Hendry. All jokes aside, dude, you fucking made it. Like,
yeah, I cannot wait for you to carry that thing into the Rumble, man.
It's gonna be so good.
Didn't they go into a bigger venue for this pay-per-view?
They did. They were at UBS Arena.
How was that attendance?
Was it UBS? No.
It wasn't UBS. They're saving that. No.
That's for Slammiversary.
That's in the summer. But
it was a UBS-sized arena. It was like similar. Yeah?
Yeah. This was the Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas. So here's the thing. I'm actually glad you brought that up, Scotty. You know how AEW had to downsize their
pull all the people off the hard cam.
Yeah. They outsold them. This was a bigger crowd than AEW. They were at the Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas. It has nearly 680,000 seats, and they had
how many?
Fixed seats we're looking at around 6,000, and they got almost all of them.
Oh, you said 600,000. I was like, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. 6,000, my mistake. 6,000 fixed seats, and they filled up all of them.
For TNA, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Back to what they did not too long ago.
That's a big part of why I think they could definitely. They might not sell out UBS Arena, but it's going to look good.
Yeah.
But it's also UBS Arena. There's a lot of wrestling fans in the Northeast.
That's for sure.
That will drive from Philly and even further to get to Long Island.
To get to Long Island, yeah, no, it's 45 minutes for me.
Exactly.
That's nothing. But yes, Joe.
That's assuming there's no traffic on the BQE, which there always is.
That's what I'm gonna have to face in the morning. But I think it was a very, very solid showing from TNA. A great way to kick off the year. Gentlemen, do you have any, aside from congratulations, do you have any predictions as to if TNA left a good lasting mark on WWE if they were watching?
Oh, 100%, because they already signed the contract, so they're Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because we're definitely going to get the Hardy Boys back in the WWE.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later, especially they're in like the twilight of their career at this point.
Yeah.
Especially the way both of them wrestle, with the big spots and the ladder matches.
Jeff did a swanton from the balcony.
But that's what I'm saying. Jeff does these crazy swanton bombs. Matt Hardy's had spinal surgery in the past.
It's not a swanton anymore. It's called it's a crouton.
Shut the fuck up.
Zing.
Either way,
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just. Matt Hardy said it first. I'm just.
No, I know, but we're gonna get the Hardys back in the WWE sooner rather than later. Give them one last run because.
Make sure it's the new day.
We all know that the Hardy Boys are WWE Hall of Fame bound.
Jeff always said he wanted to end his career at WrestleMania.
Jeff has said in the past, like WWE's already approached him about the Hall of Fame, and he always said he will never enter the Hall of Fame
solo.
It'll only be with him and his brother. He's like, that's the way we came in, and that's the way we go out.
Yeah, that's gonna make me cry. Mm-hmm. But yeah, very, very great show from TNA. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for them. Yes, Scott. Oh, yes.
No, I called you a wuss.
Yeah. Yes. Way to kick off the new year for the push to Scott mocking Francis.
But
love to see it.
But yeah, there's going to be a lot of crossover action between the two brands, and it's going to be very enjoyable.
Especially if it's going to involve more main roster guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Scott,
I have two more topics, but I'll give you the better one last, which I think is the better one.
Just make it quick. We only got like 20 minutes.
Okay. This is the quick one. Going ringside reports. Corey Graves was told that he's not famous enough for his own job and gets replaced by Pat McAfee. Corey Graves, I just want to tell you this. You are very stale. You were amazing when you first showed up and was a commentator, but it's the same exact thing every single time you're on the commentating table. You don't bring the flair like you used to anymore. And we need somebody like that, in which Pat McAfee is probably the perfect and only person that can do that.
Yeah,
and yes, he is more famous. Yes, and he is more famous than you because he's also probably one of the best punters of all time. So, like, honestly,
it's true because Scott never pays attention to kickers.
If he's bringing up a man's kicking record, it's serious.
But anyway, I did see on Instagram, and I can't quote the page that I saw it on, but because I'm stupid and I didn't save it, but they believe that.
And Joe Hendry?
Well, yes, but that Corey Graves is trying to get himself fired.
I never thought I would
say
that.
So he can go to AEW.
Not even. Well, maybe, but basically they thought because he put out that tweet basically calling the WWE out and complaining and this and that, and then very quickly deleted it. Especially when he found out he was being moved to NXT. Part of me wants to believe that it's a work.
I don't know.
Because part of me wants to believe it's a work that he's going to get back in the ring. And, this is him. This is them doing the story. Replacing with Wade Barrett, he throws a fit and he quits. So what does he do as the comeback? He comes into NXT.
I would be inclined to believe that, except this isn't the first time dirty laundry involving Corey Graves got spilled onto the internet and social media and was quickly
That's
deleted.
The only reason I'm not adamant that it's a work.
Yeah,
it's just it's in there in the back.
Yeah,
but maybe it's a work. You never know anymore.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see on that one. What's your next thing, Scotty, to close us out?
Well, before I go to the next one little thing, in which if he does wind up leaving, and this is actually him leaving, I do think AEW would be perfect for him because they need help in the commentary table. And Corey Graves, even though Corey Graves' character is stale, it will bring life because it's still good enough.
Yeah, he could change it up a little bit if he does in fact go to AEW. Yeah. And that's the thing, he could go to AEW as a wrestler, not as a commentator.
Yeah. So here's the last topic, and this one's pretty crazy when I read this. So WWE came out with a Raw full matches marathon,
right?
And in which they highlight some of the best matches in the Red brand. If I'm correct, I believe this was because they're going to Netflix, so they showed the best matches from which when they were on cable this whole time. But the cover of that marathon was the Shield, but there was something awfully off about that picture.
Did they cut out Dean Ambrose?
Dean Ambrose was the only person not on that poster, and I don't understand it. Maybe you guys can express it, because I mean, yes, Dean Ambrose kind of left on a somewhat bad term, but it's the Shield. You can't have it with just them two.
So here's the issue with that. For me, it's because WWE is petty, and he did leave on not so great terms. So that's part of it.
Well, not the worst term, but it was very ugly.
So that is definitely part of it. But the main thing is he is currently employed by their competition, which they do not have any kind of working partnership with. So they cannot use his likeness in any new material. They could show him in past stuff when he was employed by the company, but because this is a new image, it's a new photo, a new poster, legally, without paying AEW, they can't really use his likeness. So they have to crop him out. It would be different if it was like a documentary. But because of the fact, and that they also have to get his permission, I think. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but it's a whole thing of stupid legalities and money and pettiness. It's the main thing.
This is also like, I don't understand. I also don't understand why they pick the Shield as the cover. I mean, yes, I understand that they were a significantly powerful team in that group, but if you're going to show, if this is like, I technically saw it as a farewell to Raw on cable, and I just feel like you could have chose someone better for the cover, somebody who truly represents the greatness of Raw. You could have had Stone Cold, you could have had John Cena, you could have had somebody other than the Shield, those two Shield members, just to make it, because it's just weird not having Dean Ambrose there. It doesn't fit, even though it's obviously what you said.
I agree that the Shield doesn't look right without all three members, but you have to remember the two members that are still there are arguably the two biggest names in the company right now.
Yeah.
And they're the most recognizable. You look at the casual fan and you throw, someone from back in the day on there, and they're not going to be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is one thing. That's obviously he's a very recognizable superstar.
Everyone knows Stone Cold.
Everyone knows who Stone Cold is by one way or another. But to the casual fan that just maybe started watching recently, who would maybe need to watch this to catch up or like to look back at history before they started watching wrestling, what's going to grab your attention more? The two people that run the show, run the fucking company, basically? Or some random old-timer that you never really watched and just know because he pops up every now and then and everyone freaks the fuck out.
Yeah. True.
So it's a whole like advertising, marketing bullshit.
Corporate maneuvering.
Exactly.
You'll love to hate to see it.
But with that being said, I believe that's all we have.
I do believe so.
Yep, I don't have anything else.
I'm all dried up. Well,
with that being
gentlemen.
said, go ahead, Francis. Take it away.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we're kicking the new year off with a bang. Again, better late than never, as they always say. Cat, brother, this one's dedicated for you. We can't wait to get you back on the show next week. Hopefully,
He's
I'm doing a
not
good job.
dying. He's at work.
Same. That's too fucked up even for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry that Francis fucked up this outro, so I'll do it for you. So, to all the wrestling fans across the world, we appreciate you watching us, and we will see you next week. If you ever want more information or you want to watch any past stuff from the push, you can watch us on TikTok, Instagram,
Netflix,
Twitch, and YouTube.
On Netflix.
Shut up! All right, we said Netflix too much today. So yeah,
Netflix.
my name is Scott. It was a pleasure welcoming you guys into 2025.
That being said, on behalf of Cap, I'm Dom.
And I'm not Francis.
Good night, everybody.